Welcome, welcome, welcome. My peoples, my peoples. How you feeling? Happy Tuesday. Forgive me for being slightly late. Mercer County Fire Buff, my boy. What's good? Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you feeling? We back at it again. Been stacking a couple of great episodes, so we're going to continue the trend, you know what I mean? Been uploading. If you missed any of the episodes, make sure that you go catch up on YouTube. 2 new episodes uploaded, which is a beautiful thing. Y'all know how hard I work. I barely get to upload. But we here. If you in the live, or I'm about to start, letting everybody know we live, but make sure you like the live, make sure you share the live. We got a lot to talk about, a lot. Not a little. We got a lot to cover. So stay with your boy, stay blessed. What y'all been up to? My boy. YGB. Throw them hands in the sky. Wreaking havoc. What's good? What's good? What's good? Now, I'm going to start, since we here. Tonight's episode is appropriately titled, Now That I'm an Adult, I See Why Martin was screaming, Najeerumba. Now, for those who don't guess the reference, the famed comedy series Martin, with Martin Lawrence, there was a season in season 2 when my boy lost his marbles and he had to go to the cult. He left his woman and his friends to join the cult. And was out there. Hey, they changed his name. John. Yeah. Changed his name to Shaquille Sunflower. The brother was tripping. Grew his hair out. Had half a afro, half a braids. Reek said he about to get his hair like Brother Sunflower. Brother Sunflower. Y'all don't understand. But the reason my boy left his woman and his friends was because the brother was stressed. His Marty Marr's mental health wasn't all the way there. The bills was on his neck. He said he had a bill from the electric bill. He had the insurance bill. Don't let me catch your ass in the street bill. And that was from his mama. When you get a don't let me catch your ass in the street bill, things is hard. Times is hard. Now that I'm an adult, I can understand. I don't owe my mama no money, but damn, everybody else on my back. Stress. You gotta take care of your mental. I understand, because I'm about to be out here like Shaquille Sunflower. Make sure you take care of your mental health, y'all. Or you gonna be out here tripping. I don't want y'all to be out there like that. My boy was like, he was saying some crazy stuff. He was like, the dog that jumps in the water. Yo, I don't want it, man. But anyway, it's been a crazy week. I'm going to keep the energy up for y'all. What else we had going on? We had tons of things going on. This was my girl, Mia, what's good? Wave to the baddies, y'all. Welcome to the Playas Circle. Is this your first time? Regardless, we glad you here. always welcome the baddies. Make sure you kick your shoes off and relax your feet. But anyway, it was the final week of the Youth Academy. Like I said, in addition to me being an artist manager, I'm also a firefighter, and we was hosting the kids, the community. We was having them learn some of the skills. And so it was the final week of the academy. We had a field day for the kids, and boy, was we busting their ass in basketball. If any of y'all seen my post from earlier today, when that brother getting them bald-headed buckets, just more evidence. Because all I was doing was spotting up. My brother Martin Luther King, hope he pop into the live later. Martin Luther King, he was on fire. He was doing that Jalen Brunson shit. Like, he was doing that. Education, yeah. The gang's on here. Make sure y'all like the live. Make sure y'all share the live with y'all players and baddies. But my boy in here. But yeah, we was busting the kids' ass in basketball, right? Martin Luther King doing the Jalen Brunson. Then when he wasn't hitting the three, he was passing it to me, and I was on fire. The left hand bandit. The new nickname for me in the streets is LaMelo Bald. Hey, all I do is spot it and shoot it. You know what I mean? But in addition to the field day, we took the kids to the airport, showed them, because we have fire services at certain airports. They had the plane that Eddie Murphy stole in life. I see you in New York City. They had that plane out there. They had a helicopter. They had all types of stuff for the kids. They had I gotta tell this story. They had one of them K9s out there. So the officer was like, "Hey y'all, what are some of the things that you think we use for the K9 course? Our own. It's always our people." He's one of the kids gonna get up to talk about some cocaine. Get him. Oh, my cousin here. We like the bloodline. Seahawk, what's good? Hey, cuz, I seen people going crazy. I seen my boy, he done got his boo pregnant. This is the perfect time. When I talk to my cousin, I be acting like I know what I'm talking about. Yeah, so I feel like now what's going to happen is this going to open up the door for Jade. Y'all be talking shit, man. But yeah, good to have you on, man. We've been down since Chris been Brown. Yeah, salute to them. Hood Education said I was thinking coke too. Y'all need to chill out. We don't want the K9s can be used. The K9s can be used for life rescue. Even though we don't. They had one of them German shepherds. I'm like, I'm out. That's when I peace out. All right. Now, in addition to that, what else happened? I told y'all already. I went to the pool. Your boy been working out still. You know what I mean. So we trying to just keep things going. But I gotta start eating better. You know what I mean? Because I've been living crazy out here on the run, and I've been double dipping in that fast food. I'ma keep it real with you. I ain't gonna lie. My boy Reek like to say, I'll lie for you before I lie to you. And he preaching. He's preaching right there. Oh, speaking of which, I got to break bread with my boy. I don't really. You know me, if it ain't music or international, I don't really step out too much because his brother trying to grind. But got to kick it with my boy and his peoples. Appreciate the invite because that's real. You know what I mean? That's real. And, broke bread. Got a couple of, got me a little plate. No pork though, no swine. Last time I had swine, I was messed up. So anyway, we got a lot going on. We had a great episode last week. We had our special guest R&B singer Kevin Ross. Kane Bride dropped his new song off here. And so that was dope. We was kicking it, talking about DC shit, you know, the regular. We also was talking about what's your favorite album, like what album impacts you as a person down in your spirit. And then we also was talking about bringing people to the house, bringing your boo to the house for the family test. That was the Ceddy's recipe last week, the family test. Cause y'all ain't been doing that. Y'all ain't been bringing y'all peoples to meet the family to make sure that they pass the test. That's why y'all be out here on Instagram talking about jiggers ain't ish. You know what I mean? On a side note, also, I want y'all to stop. I want y'all to stop saying jiggers ain't ish. I also want y'all to stop disrespecting the baddies. And the reason I say that is not to be on my old sad trying to be Dr. Love, but I just want y'all to think about this. Before you be so quick to call one of the ladies an unstable creature, I want you to close your eyes and imagine it's 1993 and some bum ass about to call your mama a B. Are you getting angry? Exactly. Because I wish somebody would fix their mouth to call my mom something. I'm going to tell you, look, somebody told, when I was a kid, this dude tried to disrespect me and told me, he's like, that's why your parents getting divorced. I dove on this motherfucker. I said, the audacity. You don't know my story. You don't know my life. And you even implying that the family dynamics is messed up is about to earn you an ass whooping. So I can't imagine somebody taking it even further, being a habitual line stepper. You know what I mean? So before you do that, you think about that. Just food for thought. I'm just putting it there. And if you're gonna do it in the comfort of your own home. In the comfort of your own home. You ain't got to be out here. Because one thing I learned, and I'll get back to business. One thing I learned about our culture, our people, is we are some of the strongest cussers across the land. When we cuss, we cuss. Somebody cussed. They was talking to me and cussing somebody else out, and I felt bad about the person getting cussed out. I said, damn. The Imani, my boy here. We live, baby. Glad to have you. Glad to have you in the building. But yeah, so we just got to just understand your true dynamics. You know what I mean? When you out here just talking crazy. But anyway, I digress. We got more to discuss tonight. We're going to be discussing some things I seen on the internet. Shout out to my boy Reek bringing some things to my attention. Because your boy Paul, the truth Pierce out here tripping. But he preaching. Which side am I on? You'll find out. All right. Now, I want to give y'all some bald-headed logic. Right? Got to give y'all some bald-headed logic. And then we gonna keep it moving. All right. Now, tonight's bald-headed logic is loud ain't always right. Loud. That's how you gotta talk like a pastor. Loud ain't always right. Education said he can't stand Paul Pierce. Hey man, he stopped busting our ass long time ago. But he be talking crazy though. But you gotta let the hate go. But back to what we talking about. Tonight's bald-headed logic. Loud ain't always right. Now, if I said this to you before, damn it, you're going to hear it again. All right? Too often, we jump based off the loudest voice in our head or the loudest voice surrounding us. My boy in here, my cuz, Drew, Caliente. But, yeah, too often we jump based off of the loudest voice in our head or surrounding us. And too often, that voice is not the most sound voice. Shout out to one of the captains at the firehouse. He was teaching the kids. He said anger really lasts 90 seconds. That's all debatable, but the point that he was trying to make is that you can't just quickly respond off of your anger, because that, as my mom would say, anger is one letter away from danger. You know what I mean? Get your ass whooped, get your ass put in jail, or worse. So I want us to always understand the loudest ain't always the soundest. Okay? You gotta make sure that you are really, really in a true state of mind to be able to process your thoughts and emotions to the best way possible. Do players fuck up? Absolutely. Absolutely. That being said, you don't want to be a habitual. You don't want to be a habitual. So you got to try to make sound decisions, and you make sound decisions by not always listening to the first or the loudest, but finding what's right for the moment and for the future. More importantly, in addition to that, too often, I'm going to keep saying too often, people be out here talking loud but wrong. My boy Chris Rock, before he got slapped, he used to have the Chris Rock show back in the day. And he had Tracy Morgan on. And he said, Tracy Morgan, we're going to give you a new character. You're going to be the loud but wrong guy. You're going to be loud, but you're going to be saying something that don't make no sense. And you're just going to keep saying it until people agree with you. He going to be like, so Tracy Morgan will be like, hey, yo, ketchup and mustard is the same thing. And he was arguing that shit down loud. Hey, yo, just over talking people to the point he was like, you know what? Whatever, you got it. You're right. No, he loud and wrong. How many times do you be hearing your mans or your girlfriend be telling you some shit you know dead wrong? You can't. You gotta silence that, bruh. You gotta silence that. We gotta get to the business. I'm gonna give you an example. When my pockets, if they get loud, and what's all, let me say, I know y'all thinking like, damn, say, how your pockets tight? If your pockets tight, then we ain't got no hope. You got a good job. You hitting lays, parlays. Damn it, it can happen to anybody. I'm sick of this. It can happen to us all. One of my favorite comedy specials from Martin was Run Tell That, and he said, nobody is immune to the trials and tribulations of life. Damn, Martin, I didn't know you was preaching. It can catch everybody. So when your pockets get tight, one thing I know about people get out of character. People get real out of character when they money tight. They be start doing some things because that money talking too loud. You be like, I'm broke, nigga, I'm broke. And you got the power to change that. Make sure you listening to the right voice and not the loud voice. All right? Remember that. Now, we're going to get into, so I got to speak my truth. And then we going to get into what are you talking about? All right. So tonight's Speak My Truth is kind of blending off of the bald-headed logic, but tonight's truth is you ain't always gotta say it. Man, people be talking, I be like, bro, chill, my boy, chill. You ain't always got to say the first, second, or third that thing that comes to your mind. Because sometimes you're tripping. You ain't got to say it. Remember Floetry was like, all you got to do is say yes. No, you don't. No, you don't. Floetry lied to you. Possibility. No possibilities. You ain't always gotta say it. Listen, I'm gonna keep, I'll try to keep it a hundo witch or a hundito. Hundito. He said blasphemous. Is it? I don't think so. Let me give y'all an example. Y'all know I love the baddies. Now, a very popular style right now for the baddies, and probably throughout history, is to be out here. You know how I'll be floating in my leopards? They be floating without their bra. Floating with no bra on. Now I know, as a man, you see that, right? And your mind get to percolating. But that don't mean you come out here and be like, damn, look at them titties. No, you don't do that. Even if that's the first thing that came to your mind, you got to have some restraint. And I'm speaking on this as a person that practices this. Okay? Because if I walk up to a lady and she ain't rocking no bra, you know what I'm going to say? Lady, you are a wholesome woman. You are a God-fearing woman. The Lord loves you, and so do I. Be blessed. But in my mind, I'm out here remixing Lotto. Pokies. But you can't say that. That's how you go to jail. I'm out here like Young Jock. I know you see it, but you can't say it. That's wrong. I don't want y'all getting hemmed up. That's a quick 5 to 10. What's 5 to 10? I'm about to whoop your ass for 5 to 10 minutes. Stay strong, y'all. Stay strong. He said, ma'am, can you reach that can on the top shelf? You're trifling. Trifling. We got to stay strong. I'm trying to help you out. You got to believe me. You got to believe me. So that's how you get hemmed up out here in these streets. I've been working on my harmonies lately because, eventually I'm about to go solo. That being said, all right, I want to get into some of the what are you talking about, right? So we're going to move to the what are you talking about section, and we might as well kick it off with this Paul Pierce topic. He said, depending on the cup size, 5 to 10 ain't worth it. Damn it, it's not. Damn it, it's not. All right, so look, we're going to get into this. What are you talking about? In the first segment we're going to talk about a recent clip from your boy, Paul Pierce, on his show, The Truth After Dark, co-hosted by Azar Farida. Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Shout out to the Brown Baddies. Now, in this clip, Paul Pierce was basically saying, if you a really stand-up dude and you out here in these streets, get you a woman that's physically rated a 5 to 6. Stop worrying about the baddies. He said the baddies ain't putting no elbows, ain't putting nothing into the game. Because they out here just looking good. They don't got no cachet. Now, he said, we got to start worrying about the real things. And he said, you're going to go up and you're going to be like, hey, man, why you woman look like that? Don't worry about that. And I say to Paul Pierce, your heart was in the right place. This, I don't know. I see your vision, but it's blurry. I hear you preaching, but you're far away. The crazy thing was, and just to extend it, the co-host, Azara, was funny because she got upset immediately. It was like, I wish somebody would say I'm a 5'6". If you think I'm a 5'6", then you shouldn't be with me. And she started cussing them out. And to her, I also say, I hear your vision, but it's far away. And the reason I say that is this. In the best relationships, not functional or transactional relationships, in the best relationships, you are with a person that you're attracted to, that you have chemistry with, and that you have loyalty to. Okay? And then to the next level, you have a person who wants the best for you. We are living in this social media world where, hey, it sounds good to clickbait, it get your attention, it's going to get engagement and captions, but we're out here trying to, as I was telling y'all the other day, we trying to raise men. We trying to get these people right. And on the other side, we trying to hold the baddies to a high standard and give the baddies the best of ourselves. And we can't do that if we, in our minds, already like, oh, well, she don't look the best, but she do this for me. Cause I don't feel like that's sustainable. Now, to the point where he is preaching that, I do understand his point in the fact of like, hey, we as men have to start creating relationships with women. We have to start connecting with women on things that are deeper than just looks, because that also is not sustainable. Looks are, being just a good looking woman isn't, and we have to kind of preach this in raising women, and we have to hold ourselves to a certain standard to demand the most out of women, just like women have the right to demand the most out of us. It's like, yo, it's mad at y'all that look good. Go scroll your Instagram. As a man, I already know what your Instagram look like. Scroll your Instagram. I want to say every 3 posts, but it might be every 2. But every 2 posts, you gonna see a fine woman. It's not hard to. We weren't designed. We live in an era now where it's like, dang, yo, we wasn't supposed to see this many fine women. I'm gonna look at my Instagram right now. Right, this the top post. You ready? Second post, good looking woman. Skip. Another good looking woman. And it don't stop. Another woman. That's a great point. Oh, Nas, my boy. The accessibility to attractive people for men or for women now is crazy. It's crazy. So you're not doing nothing by just being attractive. And I seen one of my old homies posted today. He was like, yo, everybody think they fine. Y'all already know how I feel about that. Y'all already know. Reese said, stay off them socials. He said, too much of anything is bad. Hey, man, all things in moderation. He ain't lying. You got to try to lock in. Get your ass off the internet. But it's everywhere. You can't even run from it. So what I'm saying is, nowadays, you're going to need more than that. Just like back in the day, you be like, hey, man, you got a job with a pension? That's why you ever heard an old man, he be like, man, you need to work for the state. You need to get you a job with a pension. That's why they was telling you that. You thought they was talking about retirement? And they trying to get you some baddies, bruh. Cause pension means stability, which through the commutative property is all women are looking for. Stability. So that's why they was trying to put you on. Think about it. Now, that being said, ooh, little fuzz. All right, we good. Yeah. Now, as I was saying, back in the day, all you needed to be was a brother with a good job. And you was in. Now you need more than that. You gotta have a good job. You gotta have good hygiene, which you should have regardless. You know what I mean? Got a little emotional intelligence. Can you read? Now I be seeing all the girls, can you build a house? Your daddy can't build no house. I definitely ain't about to build you no house. I'm good with my hands. You see them? You see them? Them calluses? That's because I works hard. But that being said, hey, we got to keep it a beano. Now on the flip side for the ladies, yes, you attractive. Do you have any people skills? I ain't even going to go to all the cooking and cleaning because that's archaic. I love it if you can do it. And when I say, when one thing for the men, when a man says, can you cook and clean? He ain't talking on some like old primitive. He means, well, that's what I mean at least. Can you take care of yourself? Can you take care of yourself? Because it's too expensive. ESS, pensive. It's too expensive out here to be running out to Nobu, Roof Chris, Razas, if you hip. You know what I mean? Going out to Newark. We ain't got time for that all the time. Just cause you hungry. You know Taco Bell got a $5 meal, 7, 9. Wawa, it's still summertime. But more importantly, we can go to Wegmans, Aldi's, ShopRite. If that's, you know what I mean? Don't hate on ShopRite. Because you got to have these skills. And I'm going to cook with you. You know what I mean? Charles taught me something. But we not going to use this, oh, that's primitive as an excuse not to have no skills now. Because I got to have skills. You got to have skills too. We a team. You trying to ride my back to the championship. It ain't happening, Captain. So, getting back to the point, not to get too far off, I guess what the truth is trying to say is like, hey, we need to make sure that we have some well-developed partners here. And he took the roundabout way. But for me, as a man, I aspire. I've always aspired. And you ask my brothers, my YGB gang, my blood brothers, baddies that, you know, I've shared love for and with, and those who I have not. They'll tell you, say, you got good taste. Am I supposed to have bad? You ain't about to have me out here looking crazy. Hey, Alethea, what's good? Wave to the baddies. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I propose for all of my brothers to have high quality taste. Don't be out here with no running them up baddie. Because that's reflective on you. And I say that for the ladies. She said, hi there. Hi, baddie. How you doing? Glad you're here. So that's all I'm saying. We should all strive to have a high quality woman. Now, Chat, y'all could answer this too. Do you think that there's a correlation now in this era between good looks and personality? I'm in a slight belief of that. It can balance depending on how you was raised. But I do feel like you should be with somebody that you're attracted to. Because otherwise you're going to be, oh, look at such and such. Or you're going to have that wandering eye. You're going to be hitting that Debo, that cross-eye, whenever you see something that look good. Or if your person get on your nerves, you just a little bit, you start getting a little bit too frustrated. So I personally feel like you should have somebody that is, I'm not looking for no 5 or 6 personally. That's probably not even really going to catch your attention. I do feel like a personality can increase your score. I knew people that I would probably say was, by most accounts, a 6 or 7 with a hell of a personality that boosted them to about a solid 7 or 8, male or female. You know what I mean? And I'm speaking in this context as a self-aware man. I tell y'all, anybody that's new has not heard this, but I tell all y'all, I'm a solid 8 with potential. I ain't gonna talk to you like no 10, and you ain't gonna talk to me like I'm no 6. Respect my house. Yeah, Paul was tripping. I feel like trying to wrap your head around, no freaky, dating a 5 or 6 is crazy. I would say if you date an attractive 7 or 8 woman, got some things going for her, you know what I mean, God-fearing woman, you know what I mean, well versed in culture. That's what I like to see. That's what I like to see. The last thing I will say about this, though, where I do understand what Paul Pierce is saying, is to date a baddie, talking about looks wise, that would be considered by many a 9 or 10. You have to understand, and I would say this for the women too, for the baddies. Vice versa, if you dating one of them sexy flexy Idris ass, LL Cool J type of niggas, you know what I mean? You have to be prepared for what comes with that territory. People are gonna be pressing them. You know what I mean? People are so disrespectful. And I say this from experience. Because people have tried to test. And I've seen people testing. Somebody brought they lady around it was an all dude function. They brought their lady, which was not, I didn't understand it. But, you know what I mean? I talked to that brother on the side and coach him. But everybody was looking. And then there's always one dude that be out here trying to, you know what I mean, get a little too flirty. That's when you get this. Ha ha. I'm telling y'all, the handshake check hook, one day it's going to save your life, bro. It's going to save your life. Like, look, yo, my bad. Spook. When that bottom teeth, when that bottom row hit that top row, and they go, when it hit like that, that's when you got them on the ropes. So if you left-handed like me, I shouldn't be giving y'all a game because one day y'all might turn on me. But I'm going to come in like, nah, it's all good. Bop, I'm going to hit you with the right to get them that row to, do this. And then I'm coming crazy with the left. Murder, she wrote, na. Acting crazy. But I'm only do that if you're disrespectful. Cause I come from love. Now, let's move on. Now, Shout out to, y'all know I'm in the music game. Shout out to the Trap LA podcast, or excuse me, platform. What they like to do, they from LA, they like to post a lot of different clips of artists and executives giving game so that they can help independent artists and rising artists. One of the posts that they put up last week basically was a clip of Young Dolph. Rest in peace to the man Young Dolph. And Young Dolph it was an old clip of Young Dolph talking to Gilly and Wallow. Well, $1 million worth of game. And Wallow asked Young Dolph, how much does it take to break an artist? Which is a term we use to take an artist to the next level. And Young Dolph basically said that it can cost anywhere from $250,000, $250,000 to $1 million to break a song, not a project, a song as an independent artist. Hopefully that artist is of the appropriate ilk so that they can go. You know what I mean? Now, we have heard this number corroborated by Erica Banks, the voice of the song Bust It, Bust It. Oh, my boy in here. B White, aka Kung Fu Larry. Get him Kung Fu Master Larry. What's good, bro? So, Erica Banks also said that number. She said that it took $250,000 to break Bust It and get that to the next level. Now, I've seen Erica Banks years later in concert, and again, without that first lift, we don't even know the name. So, I want to speak to, damn, do it cost that much to break an artist? And I'm going to say, yes. We had some friends that happened to be in the know of, what's Shorty's name? Ice Spice. And I don't want to give y'all no, what's the word? I ain't trying to be out here gossiping, but the report was basically like, yo, they stacked their bread and they went to go push the button. And what I will say is this: there's no specific button per se. I don't want y'all to be just going stacking your bread and getting some trash and trying to get rich. But I'm sorry, I'm trying to put my phone on the damn charger. Dumbass. My bad, y'all. But what I will say is, you gotta stack your bread. You gotta have the appropriate networks and connections to be able to go out here and make some shit shake. I would personally say I've spent a lot of money. I ain't spent no $250 because I don't want y'all looking at me like, brother, give me $1. But we've spent a good significant amount of money to have certain songs move even at the level that we have. And I ain't even at no Erica Banks Bust It. We ain't even at that level yet. But $250, it sounds crazy. But one, people spend a lot of money. You calculate all the money that you done spent at the McDonald's, at the club, getting bottles, on your hookah. You'd be surprised how much money you done spent over your lifetime. On your trips to float in your leopards. I'll be floating in my leopards. So, hold on, y'all. I'm gonna put y'all on the so I can plug this in, because y'all see me struggling and y'all ain't even saying nothing. Like said, take the time for yourself to plug it in. Y'all don't even care. Trifling. But I digress. It costs a pretty penny, y'all. It really does. It costs a pretty penny for you to be able to take it to the next level as an artist. So when you see an artist and you be like, damn, where they pull up from? Like, yo, they was stacking their bread. They was putting their work in, building their connections, and then when they got the money from either themselves or, you know, getting with the proper label or distribution company, to the moon. So now when you see me, when you see Key or Quest or Cheek the Prophet, just know your boy was putting that work in, stack my bread to the moon. And it's not an if, it's a when. All right? But don't call me for no money, because I ain't got it. All right? Now, the last segment that I wanted to talk to in the What Are You Talking About was a very interesting subject. I thought I wanted to talk to my bros, talk to the players about this, because this was very interesting. This was a very interesting post. I seen this post on, ironically, Ask a Black Man. And the post was put up and it says, who comes first in a man's life? All right? So we can almost kind of transition this into the question of the night. I would say there's nothing wrong with that. But the question was, who comes first in a man's life? There's 4 people listed here. It's wifey. Notate the wording. Wifey, right? Mom, your best friend, and in the picture they got a bro up there. Or the kids. All right. So the question is, who comes first in a man's life? I would go as far as either trying to organize these, like put them in order. All right. Let's see if we can do this. So again, the question is, who comes first in a man's life? And the options are wifey, mom, best friend, or the kids. Now, y'all drop it in the comments who y'all think. You know what I mean? So for me, This is very challenging. And I would say that what actually happens is the answer is based off of your life experiences and traumas. All right. If I could give you an answer, who comes first, and I would prioritize it, I would say, first of all, where's God at? Why we ain't got God on this list? So I guess God is already cemented up here. But anyway, after that, I would probably go, it's going to be, that's tough. I want to say kids. Kids, wifey, which we need to be clear. If this means wifey as in just your girl, if it's wifey as in just your girl, this is out the question. But if it's your wife, then yeah, wife is up there. So, and I'm with Reek, because this is the tough one. Because like kids and wife is just like, 1 and 1A here. Then moms, and then best friend, you grown. Your boy, look, we cool. We gonna hang out. I'm gonna call you, make sure you good. If you need us a quick spot, 20, 50, maybe. Now you're pushing it. But you gotta pay me back. You gotta pay me right back. But you can handle your own responsibilities. But these is my priorities. The thing about the wife thing is like everybody's answer is depending on how you was raised. So for me, I say you will pick your wife. The wife will be first if you've been raised in the church or by women of the church, or you ain't been hurt. by like you ain't been hurt to the point where it's like I can't trust no more. You know what I mean? Then you're gonna put your wife first. Your kids come, they from you. So they really should be there regardless, unless you straight deadbeat. You ain't, your daddy ain't do you right, or you just ain't living good. Otherwise, your kids should be right there. Now, you gonna pick your moms. Your moms will go first if you ain't really never been broke off like that, super crazy. Also, or the flip side of that is if your woman that you really, really love did you dirty. Because then you're going to go like, your moms, unless your moms did you crazy, you're going to be like, moms never did me like this. So I'm always going to pick moms. Right? That's what you prioritize, mom. Only time you prioritizing best friend is if you just really, like I said, you ain't got your, you ain't seen no pods. Because they always say bros before hoes. And first of all, I told y'all earlier in the episode, don't call them that. Because somebody was calling your mom back in '09. But people always say bros over the ladies. But you gotta think about that though. I'm not I'm not pillow talking with Day Day and Darrell. That's my woman. I'm not procreating with them. I'm with my woman. So I'm right there with Reek. It's like I said, it's a toss between the wife, not wifey, the wife. Because wifey can leave with a bad argument. Wifey can leave you at the Breezy Bowl. Or at the Usher concert. Reek said, mom going first means I never left the nest. Exactly. I love you, mom, but I got to stand on my own too. That's what I'm saying. The Bible says if you into your word, you got to read the word. It says you will pick up and start your own. And I ain't going to hold you. When I first did it, there was them initial ways because, see, one thing I gotta tell the baddies, this is how you win. You gotta form a unit with the mom. Mom form a unit with the woman. That way you never gonna have to be doing all that back and forth pulling. Now, if your mama think your woman stink, it is what it is. Or vice versa. But my woman, man, I never say nothing. Don't you dare. Because that's how you get the, all right, I'm outie. All right, I'm about to leave. Yeah, but if you pick your moms over your woman, that's like I said, that's either like you not, yeah, don't you ever say nothing about my moms. So that's the, people like, damn, do he watch Tank? Why he out here Shakur Stevenson? I ain't gonna hit you. Y'all know I'm just bullshitting. I ain't gonna never hit you. Yeah. With the Flintstone feet. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, I thought that was very interesting though. Like I said, for me, it's gonna be wife, kids, and even the kids versus mom. That's an interesting battle too. Cause kids, you better not ever don't ever disrespect me. Sail me down the river. Kids is so crazy because kids don't even be understanding all the sacrifices. You don't understand. Kids do not understand how much the parents put in. They don't understand that the parents be trying to look out all these years. All these years, your parents been trying to tell you, hey man, don't rush to grow up. Your mama been telling you, hey man, it ain't sweet over here being an adult. You over here acting like, nah man, you wrong. You don't know what you're talking about. No, Colonel Sanders, you're wrong. Mama was right. It's tough out here in these streets. She trying to help you. Exactly. I tell my son that all the time. I say, man, listen, I pray. I say, no, you gonna get these lessons one day. You gonna understand. I just pray I'm here to see it. That's all I ask the Lord. I'm gonna be out here. I'm gonna be on the oxygen. Hopefully I don't go out with the oxygen, but if I do, I'm gonna be. And my son gonna whisper them last words. You was right, Cedric. I'm gonna be like this. Man, the Lord probably, I don't know what the Lord got planned for me, but if I'm halfway coherent when the Lord calls me, I'm gonna be acting up. I'm gonna be acting straight up, bro. They gonna be like, "Say, do you have your last wish?" I'm like, Bill Maddox was good. I'm gonna be acting up on my deathbed. They gonna be like, "Yo, Sad, do you have any final wishes?" Call Taylor Rooks. They gonna be like, Taylor gonna come in there. Cedric, you've been a great contributor to society. Is there anything that I could do for you? Show me them things. Hey, yo. Y'all gotta forgive me. And you know I ain't got no sense. I ain't got no bit of sense. Taylor, I love you. It ain't been the same since you got married. But that being said, I want to quickly, we gonna honor the baddie of the week. I have a player of the week. I don't remember who the player of the week is, y'all. Forgive me. But the baddie of the week is Amanda Seales. Now, Amanda Seales, if any of y'all caught the clips or the footage, Amanda Seales participated on the show Surrounded on this web show, in which she's quote unquote debating. She's surrounded by 20 conservatives, and she's debating the different topics. Now, this show, I want to be honest with y'all. I don't want to sound ignorant to the evils of society. But this is one of the dumbest shows ever, because it's people debating each other that have no interest in trying to see what the other person is saying. More importantly, they are speaking so blindly to the humanity of the world that is very, very frustrating. But in this particular episode, Amanda Seales was defending as what she called herself as a radical versus the theories and mindsets of 20 different conservatives. Black conservatives. This is the important part. She was battling against or discussing with all black conservatives. It was crazy. It was one of the craziest things I've ever seen. And these young people, way younger, no disrespect, Amanda, they were like so gone. And what I wanna honor, sister, gotta act like Dr. Umar. I wanna honor Sister Seales. for maintaining her composure, maintaining her integrity, maintaining her points, and addressing them in a strong manner. I hate that we always have to pit ourselves against each other, or where they even find the people to do this. And secondly, I find displeasure in the fact that, you know, we are often critical of Amanda Seales. I think she is a very intelligent woman. I think she's a very outspoken woman. But from what, as often as possible, she's speaking from a place of, you know, love. You know what I mean? For the culture and for our people. And this was just disappointing to see that there's so many people that just the people that she was speaking with, just reek of self-hatred and lost. You know what I mean? And just have been really manipulated in their thinking. And what is unfortunate is, because like they were perpetuating stereotypes about black on black crime, about black music, and where black music comes from, you know, who actually perpetuates these types of theories and these types of messages. Because at the top, like, especially the part with the music was what resonated so much to me. It's like, yo, do you know who's at the top of the chain here? You getting mad at the people at the bottom, like it ain't coming from up here. And she very eloquently spoke up against some of these evils and some of these thoughts. And I hope that what is always unfortunate about these shows is like the people that already know are already on her side, and the people that are against her are not going to even catch what she was positioning. So that's always the frustrating part with these types of shows. And I can only hope that some positive was taken from it, but I want to applaud her for her efforts of trying to just reason and express really what the truth is about a lot of these different positions. So shout outs to you, Amanda Seales, for all that you've done in both your career and what you've done as a voice for the culture. As y'all know how I am, I don't know none of these people like that. So I don't ever want to go overboard, but from what we have seen and heard from you, you was doing your thing. So respect on that. Now I want to finish with a final segment of Ceddy's recipes, and we've had some good Ceddy's recipes over the past few days, or the past few episodes. Excuse me. We had a really good one with Kevin Ross last week, and we had a good one with Malik English as well. So we'll continue the segment. So for those who are new to Ceddy's Recipes, Ceddy's Recipes is a weekly example of a tradition or a custom from our culture that we want to maintain, an informal example of something lighthearted, but that has been important to the development of our people and our youth. And examples of such have been Uno, God is Good, Meteor Man, making playlists for your lady, and the examples that we used in the past 2 weeks, the take home plate and the family test. This week we bring another important custom, another important recipe that we want to maintain, and that would be Singing in the church choir. Singing in the church choir. Now, first of all, I know that by and large, our thought process and our church experience has changed drastically since the early 2000s and beyond, and prior. But it was an honor. I never done it, but it was an honor for you to be participating in the church choir. I think I did sing in the church choir one time. I'm going to go back and do the research. But you had to identify what section of the choir you were in. Alto, tenor, soprano, baritone. And if you was a lady with a deep voice, she was in there. I ain't no soprano. I'm an alto. Nah, lady, you a tenor. Go ahead in the back with Barry in there. But singing in choir was super important. Your parents would wake up early if you was gonna be singing, especially if you was in the youth choir. If you was in the adult choir, everybody wanted to sing their solo so that they can get that record deal. And you wasn't gonna get no record deal. It was your just turn to sing, and you kept bothering the choir director enough so that he would let you sing. But the choir is a pillar in the black community and in the church. Some of your favorite singers got that training. You see Fantasia talking about, yeah, that's church. Whitney, church. Faith Evans, church. That come from being in the church choir. And if you wasn't even in the church choir, if you was playing with the church band, you learned something. You built up your skills. Okay? Y'all don't even know your boy Pimp C from the UGK. That boy was in the choir band. He came up in the church. Essentials. But a good church choir was an essential to determine whether you was willing to become a member of that church. That church choir had to be rocking. There was certain elements. You know how they got the elements of hip hop? You got the elements of the church. You got to have a good pastor, good church choir. You really wanted to have a good vestibule. You know what I mean? There's certain elements that you need to have to be like, you know what? I want this feels like a church home. That's what they say. I'm about to make this my church home. But the church choir was one of those things. I was listening to some gospel earlier today and made me think back. Means you good? Beans, stop. Beans. You heard me. Stop playing. But yeah. I was listening to some gospel and I was like, damn, made me think about my grandma at the Mount Airy Baptist Church in Washington, D.C. Right across from where they filmed the Tiny Desk at. I was like, man, these are some good old times. Thought about my times over there at Macedonia Baptist Church. Over there on Greenwood Avenue. Yeah, you got to have a good church home. And important for you to get me at the church homes, you got to have a good church choir. So shout out to all the church choirs. Shout out to the choir directors that used to be going crazy. And shout out to the pastors who would try to milk it at the end. Once the choir done did all the work, and you gonna come in and sing the last few bars after they done got everybody riled up. You know you ain't right. Now you want to join the choir. But that being said, we had another great episode. Appreciate y'all always pulling up. Appreciate those that came in, the you know, the new visitors to the Playas Circle. Hope that you come back and join us again. But it's always love. Always love. So, y'all, if you missed it, be sure to catch us later on YouTube. We're going to be dropping that episode probably tomorrow. But until then, you know what it is. Keep it blessed. Keep it real. But always keep it player. We out.